Hi, this is Saylor Howell from OmniDeck, and I'm here to show you expense management in OmniDeck. For those of you who don't know what our solution does, OmniDeck is a internet portal for your company that allows your customers, your employees, and your vendors to do work together in one place with no code. Let me show you what I mean. Here in OmniDeck, this is my inbox, and I can see any forms or any tasks that have been associated with my workflow. Maybe I have to approve them. Maybe I need to fill them out next in the workflow of approval. So I can take a look at those real easily here. This will dramatically reduce your email. In fact, we use OmniDeck in every department. It doesn't really matter what types of forms and processes you want. Drag and drop them and create them yourself. You don't have to be a programmer to know how to use OmniDeck. It's very, very easy. So here I'm going to grab a quick expense report. This might just be an expense reimbursement request from the field or even in the office. And I'm going to, select my date. It is device responsive and will fill to the device that it's on and is web capable. So when I come in here and start filling out jobs, I'm going to go ahead and select my job, my cost codes, etc. Now this is very easy to use regardless of the type of device. I would take a picture of my receipt and come to the bottom, maybe it had a signature or something, and I would submit it from there. It would follow the routing of approval. Now, next in line, where does that expense report go? Well, it's going to populate an expense report grid like this here. Now, I created this grid in probably 20 minutes, just dragging and dropping fields the way I wanted them. Let me show you one that's completely filled out here. Now, what this is designed to do, it's one flavor of expense management. The beautiful thing about our system is we can mold it to whatever type of process that you use for expense management. This is just one way. But as the company card for that employee receives transactions on it, we're going to automatically download the company card statement, and that will fill out here. Now, what's great about this portion is I've asked them to go in and cost code their transactions. So the employee is going to see everything that he's filled out here. He's going to look here on the right, and he can partition out certain dollar amounts for certain cost codes, if applicable. Very easy to do. This links with my ERP system, so it will push the data back in. And even if we had multiple cards for that employee and wanted to select the card, that's just another field, just something else we drag and drop into that OmniDeck form. Very, very easy to do. You can see he can go ahead and sign this here at the bottom, however he needs to with his finger, and go in from there and submit it. Now this one's already been submitted, so you can see some chat here. Every form in OmniDeck has chat associated with it. So anyone that's in the workflow of approval is going to see this chat message. They'll get an email that brings them straight back into this form so they can start collaborating from there. Instead of having, a 3-mile long Teams conversation about what happened this weekend, now we're having relevant conversations around relevant job or project data. So if I needed to add somebody on the fly, super easy to do. If I've got the rights to do so, I can go ahead and grab that user here, say what type of user, and invite them in. Now they're part of the conversation. You can imagine how much time this saves from email, text, phone calls, meetings, just by doing all this in one place. You can even chat around reports, custom reports that you've pulled and invited people into the conversation. Now, this is great to get all the data in and to be able to report off of it and it to automatically fill an expense grid like this. And what it does is it prevents you from having to do credit card reconciliation. It's all being done right here and can push back with approval into your system, whatever that might be in payroll. So how do we create workflows of approval though around that? In OmniDeck, it's very easy to create customized workflows of approval. And I'm going to come in here and just pick my expense report and call this test, but pick multiple criteria, whatever makes sense for your process. But once the form is filled out, I want this to go to a department. So I picked hierarchy. So we'll say that will go to the accounting department. And then I want to add a condition. There's tons of conditions here. We can add new ones, but pick whatever condition you want. But in this case, we're going to pick amount. There we go. And we want any expense report that is greater than $1,500. we want that to go to the CFO. So we would just select the approval, and we're going to say this is a user, and it's going to be Brad Megson. And that's our CFO. Or, well, after it goes to the CFO, it'll go to the controller, and we'll select that user. If it's under $1,500, we'll just have it go to the controller. So now I've created a complete workflow for that process in 20 seconds here. So real easy to do this. Now you might have some forms in your office that or out in the field that you don't want to go ahead and create those, but you want to take a look at our marketplace of all of our free forms. We have over 150 free forms here. We're adding new ones all the time. It could be a site audit or a safety form or work order, a manager's report, purchase orders, whatever it might be. We have them by department here, and you can add them to your library and customize them from there. I won't show you too much of our customization here in forms, but I do want you to get an idea of how easy it is. So if you look on my form here, here's just a simple expense report. I have a set of questions here. We call them answer types, and I just drag and drop whatever I want. It could be a text field, a date or time picker, yes or no. It might even be an asset list. And what that is, it's a tie to valid job, employees, vendors, lists that are in another system or an Excel spreadsheet that we've linked to. In most cases, it's your ERP system. So I would come in here and connect the jobs or employees or whatever to that. Here, I'm just going to add something that says receipt, because we always want the receipt with our expense report, right? So I name that field, and now they just check this with their finger, and I can run a report on, show me every expense report that didn't have a receipt attached to it, and then I can chat with those employees around that conversation. So really, really cool stuff here. It's even going to do math for you. You see this at B9 and at Z7. These are reference fields, and it's going to do math just like your Excel formulas do, and I can come down here and set those expressions within the system. So super easy to use this. In fact, that expense report grid, I built that in probably 15 minutes, and I'm not a programmer. I don't know much about technology on the back end. I just like to talk about it. So anyways, very, very easy to use the system. And the last thing that I want to mention here is that this is just one version of an application in OmniDeck. All of this is free. You pay for the user cost, and you get the entire system, and you can literally run your entire company on OmniDeck and an accounting system. We run our company on 3 pieces of software, and OmniDeck is one of them besides our accounting system. So we used to have 8 or 9 apps that it took to run our company. How many do you have? Most companies have 10 to 15. If you'd like to learn more about how we can consolidate the number of applications you have to run your business and make processes a little more simple, give us a call or look us up on our website at omnideck.com and go ahead and book a demo. We'd love to visit with you. Thanks.